All right, y'all. First and foremost, give all praise, honor, and glory to the Most High God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, and his son, the Mashiach, who some call Yahweh Shai, Yeshua, Yehoshua, Yashayah. We mostly know as Jesus Christ. We got another one here. Part two of this thing, just dealing with the finances on this one. We're gonna hit some crazy numbers. But when you come down and look at it, it may not be that crazy, but just understanding the system and how the system works, how this system works, how it keeps us on the rabbit wheel where we're just chasing and running and running and running. And straightway in the community life, giving the illusion of you can get off of that wheel. And really, that's not the reality. Really, to me, and from my understanding, community life is harder. It just has more benefits of it being just a healthier life, a more self-sufficient life. But to me, it's a harder life with less benefits. To be honest, it's like entrepreneurship. Being self-employed, it sounds good. It give off an illusion that it's nice and that you'll have more freedom, but that's not really true. You working all day. Most of my stuff is e-commerce, so I get people messaging me all throughout the night, man. Hey, where my package at? How long is it gonna take? Hey, if I order this right now, will you be able to do it in the morning? People calling, hey, wasting your time a lot of times, and you have to sit there and listen to them. And so it sounds like, and every complaint comes to you, you have to hear every one of them. All right, you have to deal with every single one of them. And again, there is no work hours. If your eyes open, you at work. So it seems like you have some freedom because I can go stop what I'm doing and go do something else if I'm needed to. If I had kids, I could go pick my kids up whenever they would, need. I had the freedom to do that. But working a 9 to 5 is, if it can pay the same money, I would rather do that. I would rather work the 9 to 5. The entrepreneurship is in the hopes of you building something, you striking oil. You keep digging, and you eventually get to a point where you're making the money that somebody probably wouldn't have been able to pay you. But ultimately, you go in, you need to understand that it's a harder life. I think the community life is like that also. I could be wrong. And people could, have that illusion that thinking that this is going to be a sweeter and easier life and have issues adjusting. Like, hey, you gave somebody, $100,000, $200,000, and you ain't got running water. And then you like, wait a minute, but then you have to sit down and think like, wait a minute, man, what is it gonna cost me? It's gonna cost me $20,000. Let's say it costs you $20,000 per person. Or just say it costs you $20,000 to live a year. 10 years, that 200,000 you gave is gone. And really 5 years, the way inflation is, that money ain't what it used to be 5 years ago. So keeping all that, you have to keep some of this stuff in mind when we hear some of these numbers, because they are going to be astounding. And I'm gonna say this too, man, that Israel is playing with millions of dollars. Church is playing with billions of dollars. The black church. Israelism is playing with millions, hundreds of millions of dollars. It's traveling through this Hebrew Israelism movement. All right, hundreds of millions of dollars is traveling through this Hebrew Israelism movement. Let me go ahead and let this thing play.
Will not fleece the people.
Salute to Pastor Rufus. Servants of Yah. Go ahead and check out the channel. He got the full interview on there. We took a couple clips out of here. Fair use.
This man collected $900,000 from the Alabama brothers. I guarantee he ain't came close to putting $400,000 in that community, y'all.
Gave them 900,000. Like for me, I don't know how many people are down there in Alabama, but if I got a meal, I got a plan. Like we can let's come up with a plan. We got $1 million. Let's come up with we got $1 million. We only gonna spend half of that. Let's come up with a plan. Let's come up with a plan. Some tiny homes, let's come up with a plan. And we know how to build. We got $500,000 to blow. And we know how to build. Man, we should be he should have his vacation there. We should have a pool out there, palm trees, little tiny houses all over the place. Man, crazy PR. People will be taking vacations, trying to, Airbnbs. You can have them things. You can have little Airbnbs for Israelite brothers who can't afford to take their rib nowhere. But we can get off the land a little bit and maybe even learn some stuff. Airbnb this thing out, help, support the brothers' businesses and stuff. Like, what are we doing? 500,000. What are we doing? And then are we just buying land? Like we buying? What's the need of 100 acres of land? If we ain't living on 2. And we ain't farming the rest of it. And are we just getting the land to flip it? Is this some investment? We are these investments? It just ain't for me to know. This is just questions I would have if I was presented with this. I'm in a group. We got $1 million. We got $1 million in Alabama, in the boonies of Alabama. Nah, man. We should have this thing together. We should have it together with 500. With half of that, we should be able to have this thing together. It should be together. Everybody should have a vehicle. 10,000. Well, I don't know how many people it is. But everybody, I would feel like if it's 10 people, we got 100,000, we got $1 million. Everybody should at least have a $10,000 car. But that's 100 gone. See, that's what I'm saying. These numbers, they sound crazy, but yeah, you can blow through these numbers, man. And you ain't even bought the land yet. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, you want everybody to have that, but I don't know, man. I'm sitting here thinking about it. Yeah, $1 million ain't a lot of money, but it should have it together. You definitely should be having running water. You should, everybody should have everybody should have a bed and a place to lay their head. Everybody should have a vehicle. Everybody should have a vehicle to make sure that they can get, back and forth to work and so forth. You still gonna have to work. I just, that's what it seems like. Like, how can you live off? You can't live off $1 million and that's all you got. That's what people trying to do, and that's some of the illusion that he's selling. Hey, man, you can be debt free, and you can never be debt free. Everything costs. Every time you leave the house, you got to spend money. Almost every time you walk out the door, you got to spend money. Nothing's free. It ain't just free. You know. And people are doing it by this. I just don't understand it, man. People are doing it with a half an acre. Half an acre and $50,000. So, $1 million. That's crazy. How are they living out there in Alabama? I should have looked that up before I even did the video. $900,000 a meal.
I'm being generous with that. I know of brothers. Matter of fact, y'all saw that testimony of that older brother with the glasses, Bud, the guy that all he does is work. don't have a lick of spirituality.
I hope that ain't my brother in the workshop. I hope you ain't talking about the brother in the workshop with the glasses.
Matter of fact, y'all saw that testimony of that older brother with the glasses, Bud, the guy that all he does is work, don't have a lick of spirituality about him at all, right? His son came and gave Dowell $187,000 check. Dowell didn't put the boy on community. He didn't do that. That brother now is still wandering around the Straitway camps.
And 187. Like what are you? I don't get it. Like, what are you trying to do? You trying to give him 187 and retire? And just be in the land? Like, what are y'all expecting really? You can't retire off of that. I guess you can buy into a system. You buying into a system. I don't get it, y'all. I'm gonna give you $200,000 for what? What can you give me that I can't get with the 200,000? Especially if I'm trying to live a very simple life in the boonies. Like what are we talking about? Like even in the community that I'm in now, you know, you had 187,000. You might can get you 3 houses. You can go to Detroit. They got houses in Detroit. Buy one, get one free. Buy one, get a house free. And then you got you somewhere to go to work. Like, all y'all trying to, like, you trying to get out of the city and you trying to grow your food. Like, you know, I say, is that feasible? Is that the best option? You can grow something, but is that, you know, and does it just have to be all the way out of the city if there has to be somewhere for people to continue to make money? For people to be going back and forth, wasting gas, you know, driving 2 hours back and forth and trying to find jobs, building businesses. And that's the thing, man. It was so much money given out doing those PPP loans and all that, but people don't know what to do with the money. People can get, and that's the thing, even with the reparations, it ain't that we don't have the money. We just don't know what to do with the money. And I think that's the lure. That people have them, but they don't know what to do with the money. So they just give it to who they think knows what to do with the money and can spend it the best way possible. Instead of us doing the work, a lot of us just want to be given the answer instead of doing the work ourselves. But there are no shortcuts out here. You're going to find there are no shortcuts out here.
There's a brother right now that Dowell is fleecing him for his money. His name is Ray. He's up there in Ohio. From what I've understood, Dowell's telling this man that he's going to send him down to Alabama because they can tell that Ohio is about to be dissolved fully. They got way too many issues, which I'm not going to go into right now. But Brother Ray got a big old settlement, y'all, because he got hurt on his job a few years ago. I heard he's already given Dowell a good lump sum of money already as an offering. He called me and we talked when this first went down. I told him, just keep your money, bro. Don't give it to this dude.
Now we see, man, folks is playing with M's, and it's a lot of, Pastor Diane don't know. It's a lot of Israelite camps that are playing with M's. You may look at them, oh man, look at your garments, and you making all this, man, y'all look crazy out there. They playing with millions. And I know that sounds crazy. Like I said, the one with Israelism, that initial group that's initially broke off, and Ariyah, one of the head dudes that brought up the whole Lashawan Kodash, how about him? Had a brother that was with him, Jermaine something. Um, brother passed though, but he called himself the Holy Spirit, the Comforter. He ended up getting locked up because of taxes. And that's another thing that I heard in a recent video. He was talking about playing with the taxes. Man, that's gonna scare me. If I'm an investor, if I'm on that team, no, man, don't be playing with these folks. Don't play with these. Man, they looking for a reason. Don't give these folk no reason. Don't try to say you protected by the law and all of this stuff and you found the loophole in the... No, man. It was a brother on YouTube named Omni and the Hellcat. He found some kind of loophole. He ain't found no loophole. That joke was selling them fire sticks. And he ended up making his own little fire stick channel some kind of way. Where he was stealing cable TV and all the fights and all of this stuff. And then selling, and he ended up, making all kinds of crazy money, hundreds of millions of dollars. And he in jail now. You was saying, oh yeah, I got this loophole and I could do this. Da, 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 da. Man, don't play with these folks. Don't give these folks no reason. They really don't need a reason. But don't give the law any reason to look into you because you're trying to finesse this system. All right, just lay everything out on what it's gonna cost, and if you can't afford it, then you can't get it. You have to lay everything out for the people, but don't be trying to finesse and trying to finagle, trying to play this sovereign citizen. Trying to find these loopholes. Said he was trying to find a loophole. Again, salute to Pastor Rufus, saying that he had a graveyard and so they don't have to pay taxes. And if those who elected, and I'm gonna do a video on that too, y'all willing tomorrow about to vote, and I did vote on whether brothers feel it's a sin or not, and how they're establishing that. But what I would say though is they had something on there about homesteads. That was one of the votes on extending the exemption of homesteads. Basically, they can't raise the taxes more. They can't raise the cost of the homestead, the price valuation on the homestead more than such and such amount. Should they raise that? Was one of the questions on there for Georgia. Again, one of the things that's kind of important that could affect, those who are living in that homestead life. But anyway, you can't be, you got to be upfront with people and let them see everything laid out, so there's no questions. And you'll see this. We're going to see this with Nature Boy. He going to lay it out, when we do the comparison.
Pop out the socket. I'm going to tell the truth. Shame the devil. I'm going to do it. All right. Dowell made me do it, y'all.
Playing with millions of dollars. Playing with millions of dollars. And how many people can you take care of with millions of dollars? Even if you had 100 million, how many people you could take care of? You can't, there's athletes that run through $100 million themselves. How many people can you take care of with $100 million? Forever, for life. And that's going to be one of the issues that this community, the way this system is set up, the way Dowell had the Straitway system set up, there has to be people coming in and people giving 300,000, 400,000, and then them being kicked out with nothing. And then more people coming in, giving 500,000, 600,000. That's how you keep the system going. Unless you have somewhere for everybody to work, everybody to make a good, decent amount of money. Everybody has a business, or well, not everybody has a business, but you have a business where everybody's bringing in certain funds. If you're not establishing that, then you have to get the money where people are bringing you the money in hopes of living a certain lifestyle, and you knowing that you're going to fleece them out of that money, and to keep that cycle going. People in and out, in and out, in and out, in and out. Give me your money, now you leave. Give me your money, now you leave.
No, I'm joking. He didn't make me. Of course, he don't have the power to do that. He did ask me though, and most people don't know that. He came to me and said, "Would you mind going to the brethren and asking them to put together a vacation fund for me? Because I think through 25 years of service to the people, never taking a real vacation, the best we've ever done is go to Gatlinburg for a weekend. I think we deserve that." And I said to Pastor Dowell at the time when he asked me, I said, "You know what, Pastor? I agree. I think."
That tells me a lot about Pastor Dowell. You know, if I looked at the conversation he had by himself or with his ribs, you know, why should we pay for it? Why don't we get, I'm gonna get the saints to pay for me a vacation. Shoot, man, I've been doing this thing 30, 40 years. Man, you know how much people I done took care of? I'm gonna get them saints to do it. They gonna pay for me a darn vacation. And then he called Pastor Rufus. Hey, Pastor Rufus, why don't you ask the saints to do a collection for me? You know, we been, you know, me and Mother Carol, man, we been out here, you know, slaving for the flock for the past 40, 50 years, man, and we ain't went nowhere, man. I've been barely able to take the little one to darn McDonald's playground, man. We like, you know, we need a little break. Let's see if they can come together, some little fun, man. You know, we ain't got no money over here. He's sitting on M's. He's sitting on millions. We like, man, I ain't finna use that money. We gonna do a collection and they gonna pay for it. I'm gonna ask them and they gonna pay for it. And this is what I'm saying. Like, that's one thing these pastors know, man. The church, man, listen, they know, folks. You know, especially Negroes, they got the money. And you know, the only reason we lack is because of our foolishness and the dumb stuff they got us programmed to. You know, wanting to live a certain lifestyle, wanting to have designer clothes and all of this foolishness that we spend our money on. But we got the money. We spend more money than anybody. And that pastor know, hey man, pass that plate around again. Ask them jokers. Pass that plate, man. Past the anniversary week, man. Y'all need to do something for me. Got to do something for me, man. Put together tell us, you know, and it's okay if it's one time. And I can get the brother say, you know what, man, yeah, you know what, yeah, let's do it for one time. But this seems like this became some regular thing. And if we have all things in common, do everybody get a vacation once a year? Do they get to take their ribs on a vacation? Then it seems like he not taking all the ribs. It's like individual vacations for this rib. Well, just me and this rib gonna go this time, and then me and this rib gonna go this time, and then me and this rib gonna go this time, and then and then them sisters come back and they get to chattering amongst each other. Yeah, girl, that was so great. And this other sister is saying to herself, no, I'm showing you the problems with this thing, Pastor. Your wives is coming back. They over there plucking them chickens. Your wife come back while they plucking chickens. All she talking about is how she enjoyed herself out there at Cancun. And how wonderful it was. All right. Now your other wives is a little salty about it. They want to go to, I gotta find me somewhere a little better than that. You know. But you know, you could deal with that. But them other sisters with them other brothers who live on that campus who getting $50 a week, they saying to themselves, I never will be able to do that. I'll never be able to take a $20,000 vacation. And see, them men can take it. But them sisters, Man, them sisters ain't gonna be able to handle it. And I ain't tell you how to run your house, brother. And I know you ain't gonna listen to me tell you how to run it. But I wouldn't have my ribs saying nothing when they come back from them trips. Say it was miserable. Say we got stuck. Man, you on the balcony, boy. You getting these folk riled up. You don't even know what you coming back home to, man. You coming back home to some problems. You coming back home to some problems, man. These sisters know that they'll never be able to do that. They'll never get a vacation like that. And see, that's the thing I was telling you about the system. I still got hopes outside the system. I may not be able to get there, but I still have hopes. One day I can drive it. It's still a possibility. It's a small possibility where, we're in a system where you can be anything that you want to be. We got a black woman trying to be president. All right. We got a businessman trying to be president. I don't know nothing about him politics, but he about to be president. You can be anything that you want. We still have. You can still dream out here. You can still be in the illusion, just like the Matrix. But when you are out of the Matrix and you dealing with reality, that's it. You just gonna be driving around on that ship, wearing raggedy clothes, eating porridge. You're never getting out. You're never getting into you never see the Matrix again. Imagine, where they could never even plug in again. I'm sure they'll go crazy. But you don't have that on that community life. How do you have that? How does the community pay, $20,000, $30,000 for you to vacation? And I'm gonna tell you, man, listen, man, these folks on you, man, y'all. Some of the commenters on the last video, they breaking the whole thing down. They read where you at from your cup. They read what hotel you in from the cup that you drunk in the video. That's what I'm telling you. It's too many. It's too many, man. You gotta do right by these folks. You gotta do right by these folks, man, because it's just gonna continue to conjure up. They're gonna continue to conjure up numbers and information, man, and they gonna feed it into the people. You trying to stop these people. Now you trying to, which you should have never had them. You shouldn't even had no signal out there. They should not have no internet signal out there. That should have been established out the gate. And that's one of your issues also, is that they've tasted the world, man. You building on a system and everybody has to be kicked out. That's why it has to rotate that way, because everybody has tasted Babylon. So everybody's gonna murmur about the pots of melons in the unlimited, the all-you-can-eat buffets of Golden Corral, in the $80,000 jobs, $90,000 jobs with paid vacations. They don't get the murmuring when they see you out there on a vacation and you coming back fresh off smelling like salt water. And these folks ain't even got time to go to a lake and catch some crappie. Where's the pontoon boat? Man, anybody got no pontoon boat? Y'all can go out there to some park and, man, have y'all a good time, man. Like, yeah, you might be pushing the envelope, man. You might be pushing it a little too far, Pastor. Like, I don't know if you're counting you're looking at the consequences, how these things can in the end game. What's the worst case scenario? What's the worst case scenario? Can you deal with 150 acres on your own? Be careful.
You and Mother Carol do deserve it. You do. So I have no problem going to the brethren asking. So y'all understand when I said yes and no now? Y'all understand what I mean when I said yes and no? I did do it. Free willing, because I at the time, I felt like they deserved it.
He was bought in. Again, he was a confidant. Now, I'm not saying that, you know, that'll work with anybody, and that's just his, but he was a confidant to Pastor Dowell. And Pastor Dowell, you'll never get another one. Very, you know, very small chance you get another Pastor Rufus. Very small chance. And you're gonna have to build them up. You're gonna have to raise you one. You know, and then you'll have to keep them away from the world. It only take a second for that world to get inside of that community, man, and taint it. And like I was saying, you got people in and out, coming out of the world, just like the wilderness. Maybe them folks couldn't make it in. The Most High couldn't allow them to enter into the promised land. They had too much of the world still on them. And that's why, you know, again, now I'm sorry recalling, because he said, like, man, you know, I don't want no women. I may not let no more women in, just the men. Because he know, man, them sisters are dangerous. A lot of y'all don't know, these sisters run Israel. Yep. These sisters run Israel. And that's going to get him the most problems when he coming back from these vacations. Them sisters get to talking about how great it is and taking pictures and showing them pictures on her phone while people are plucking them chickens and them folks knowing that they'll never be able to go out there like that. Them folks going to start keeping their money. They're going to start holding back. They might start holding back. No. You know, and so you may have to issue out vacations for everybody. Once, maybe every family once every 5 years. You got to put in some kind of system. Once every 3 years, you get a vacation. You know, some kind of system got to be in there. You can't be the only one. You know, you can't think you be the only one to take the vacation. You can't think that that's going to work. If we have all things in common. Now, if we don't have all things in common and that's your bread, you can do whatever you want to do with your bread. But if we have all things in common and that's all our bread, hey, now. Hey. Be careful with that.
Coincidence or bad behavior?
Are done doing this, then we don't go to sleep. You know, they see him as like their master teacher. You know, you don't disrespect the master teacher.
You don't disrespect the master teacher. I seen Nature Boy one time on camera. He had a joker. He had a grown man feeding him strawberries. He turned. He came back. The dude had a orange or something in his hand and fed him an orange. Nature Boy slapped him on live. Don't you ever give me a da-da-da-da-da unless I tell you to do it. These grown men. Don't disrespect the master teacher. And for those he knew not to try like that, he kick him out.
Is it a cult?
It is.
You get caught in the attachment, the emotion. So I literally gave my money to him.
How much money did you give?
Well, I just gave him my debit card.
The people that you see talking about me online, I spent my money taking care of them. I took my money my money that was given to me by Key. About 300.
My money that was given to me by somebody else. But it's my money because he gave it to me. I took my money. Don't this sound familiar? What Pastor Ruben say? Coincidence or bad behavior pattern?
I took my money. My money that was given to me by Key.
Well, I just gave him my debit card.
The people that you see talking about me online, I spent my money taking care of them. I took my money. My money that was given to me by Key.
And this is what I'm telling you. It's on both sides. Both sides can glean from this. Pastor Al, you can glean from it. From what he went through. And ultimately, these folks are, one of the main reasons he's locked up. These people that he's talking about are one of the main reasons he's locked up. And then these people went on and did all kind of interviews, and I'm sure they'll probably write books. But with him, you see all of them, when he take the money, they do have all things in common to a degree. He probably still eating the best food, but all of them are out there in tents. He had to buy tickets for everybody. If we going to Honduras, all of us going to Honduras. We going to Cancun, all of us is going to Cancun. Now we were in the house. I'm gonna be in the house. Y'all gonna be in the tents, but all of us there, all of us in the same location. Ain't some of us out here on the outskirts. Once you done put into the pot, you put you all into the pot. Hey, you here, we gonna try to take care of you. But again, the only way for that system to work is that we get new people in and we kick the old people out. All right, you keep a certain amount. And people that's bringing in money consistently, we keep them. But those that are bringing in one pot, hey man, boom, that's what you brought in. You ain't really bringing in no more money. You're not really beneficial.
About $300,000.
Within 6
Or you beneficial enough to build up, to be a laborer and build up a couple things, and then once we got these things built up, we get you up out of here and get some fresh labor in here.
months of living in Costa Rica, Key had given Nature Boy his entire inheritance, which equaled to more than $300,000, and Nature Boy spent all of it.
And giving away their inheritance, people selling their houses. What could that house would have been? If you selling your house, and you talking about but you're doing it for yourself. You sell your house for $400,000. You like, yeah, man. Now I ain't got no mortgage, but your kids wouldn't have had no mortgage. They would have had a house to stay in. They could have used that. So things can be, inherited and passed down. And if you go back to that video where Pastor Dowell was on that balcony, he's talking about like the Amish and the Midianites, and he's like, yeah, but they passed stuff down, and so that's how they had it. Well, you have a community where that's not gonna happen. They're not gonna have nothing passed down. Their kids ain't gonna have nothing. And if they say something wrong, they're gonna get put up out of there. Or if they take one and they betroth one of those sisters, they gonna get, and without your permission, they gonna get up out of there.
Key.
And that hunger ain't gonna never stop. 2 wives, what is it? A wife every 2 years, till he gone, or till Christ return. He'll be 70 years old. He's still gonna want a wife every 2 years. Brothers on the land talking about, man, yeah, man, I want 100 kids, man, 50 wives.
How much money did I spend?
300,000. 300,000. Like that.
300.
And he's still there. Well, I don't know if he still deal with Nature Boy to this day, but just he there now after he done spent $300,000. And he seen it spent. He seen how it went. It was paying everybody's tickets, didn't last long.
100,000.
Took people out there to the tropics. They were all in waterfalls. They was running around naked. and trying to make it look like it was paradise. You know, bringing people in, selling the dream.
I gave $300,000 plus more. I'm not gonna say the plus number. I'm just leave it at plus.
I got the $300,000. It's all gone now.
I'm gonna tell the truth about it. You use your wizardry like you know how, and you cast your spells. Of course, Key is young. He gave you 20 grand. You spent that up. You asked for 30, and you pissed his money off away. You made every purchase. You said buy this, buy that, buy that.
So why I gave 300,000? Yo, it was crazy. It was like nobody else was like diligently like telling people to move out of the country. You know, inspiring.
Telling people to move out of the country, telling people to move out of the city, same thing.
People motivating people, providing all this knowledge, providing all this wisdom, you know, like, it's like, damn, you know, I wanted to be a part of that, my nigga, like, and I looked up to him, and I was following him for a while, and I started applying the knowledge to my life. That was my hero, bro. I learned about diet. He enlightened me on the epigenetics, you know what I'm saying? He put me on to, astrology, learning myself, studying myself, you know what I'm saying? And then he was starting a movement with that.
And this, you know, it's another influencer named Brother Polite, where people were paying to be like the mentors. You know, yeah, you can come over here and be a mentor. He had one brother, he took about like a quarter meal from him, had him sleeping in the back of the Rolls Royce. They were sleeping in the Rolls Royce, and that's how they got the money, because they sold. They presented a certain lifestyle that they really weren't living. But every now and then they finesse enough money. You know, they'll get an Airbnb that's nice, you know, to keep the cycle going. Have some nice looking girls around to keep the cycle going. Even you know, you got some camp leaders saying, hey man, you know, $100 a month for mentorship or something like that, or $100 a week or something like that for mentorship, meaning you can call me anytime and and get counseling and all of this stuff, and people paying it. And it may sound crazy to you, but man, people lining up spending that bread. I'm telling you, man, millions. Jokers is touching M's.
I wanted to be a part of that. I wanted to support that. I wanted to support the man that's making a movement. I want to support that movement that changed my life. Yes, all the money I had, I want to support that. I felt that in my heart, like it was the right thing to do. Like I was doing the right thing. So no, I don't regret none of that money that was given or that was spent. I don't.
It would be around this time that Phoenix would part ways with Nature Boy and Melanation, after Nature Boy started flirting with his girlfriend behind his back.
He was doing things with, you know, the women over here, and, you know, Phoenix has his girl, and, you know, this dude Nature Boy was kind of like, you know what I'm saying, trying to hit all his girls. So
they all share one van. They all out there in the tent.
It became more of a thing where this dude Nature Boy was dealing with a lot of sex forces. They got in a fight. The dude got in a fight with this dude, not actual physical fight, but argument.
Melanation would continue on their journey, and some new members.
There was another place, I think it was in Hawaii somewhere. One hut, you know, of course he gonna be in there. Everybody outside with their tents. You know, he done ran through $1 million. But everybody got, you know, nobody's working. Everybody trying to make money off of, you know, online, trying to make a little money doing that and trying to live off the land. But of course, it's just not enough. You have to have more people come in, and you have to have more people to fleece and to reset, and to add to the balance. And you can't have too many people in it. And you know, that's what people like, man, you know, he ain't got but so many people on the land and He probably done calculated how many people he can let in. Like you gotta let some people get you know, and shifting people around. Hey man, you go here, can you take them? Can you you know, he's bringing in this, right? Man, it's just a whole bunch of you almost need an accountant, man. You need a crazy mathematician to understand that. But if you're going to be successful doing it, yeah, the claim is he's been doing it for 30 plus years. So You have to say that he does have some understanding on it. You can't say he don't have no understanding on it. But I think it's getting sloppy. You know, you just can't be out here taking spending $50,000, you know, a year on vacations, and your people ain't got running water, or you have that with your name on it, and then why you got your name on it? If you're not gonna take care of it, why your name on it? Why you put Straitway on it? Everything with Straitway on it should be like the home base. If we have all things in common, you know, the home base shouldn't be like a vacation to me. Like, man, we went to the home base, man. We was able to watch TV and like, and I'm not saying that's the case. Maybe some of those other communities are a lot better than the home base. But I don't know, you know, people, even those people that are on the home base, yeah, you know, some of the things that they're watching you do, they know they'll never be able to do it. You have to at least sell the illusion that this is possible for you also. You know, you can't put your wives on the stage and your kids on the stage and have this beautiful family and saying, you know, and it you know, they have to have an illusion. You can't take all the wives. They have to have some illusion of, yeah, I'm gonna get me a wife. I'm gonna be able to do that. Have me a good amount of children and so forth. Have me a couple of wives. You got to be able to sell that. And once people lose the hope in that and they start feeling like, nah, this ain't gonna be possible, I'd rather just start over, and that, man, it's gonna be problematic. And I think, you know, Pastor Dowell is smart enough to have that worst case scenario thing in pocket where he understands what he needs. He's gonna hold on to what he needs. He's gonna hold on to a couple meal. You know, if it all falls down, he probably got at least 5 meal. You know, stored away. Just in case it all falls down and crumbles, I still got 5 million to live the rest of my life with. And that's, you know, he's a disciplined man. So I think he'll be fine if that did happen, because I don't think he spent all that bread. He just knows not to touch it. And, you know, I can get that from the fact that he asked Elder Rufus to pull a collection form, to ask for a collection form, knowing that he had the money to do it himself. You ain't got no job. Who you gotta ask? Like, I ain't gotta ask nobody to go on no vacation. You know, that's one of the things with entrepreneurship, being self-employed. And he allegedly ain't been employed in a while. He don't have to ask for no vacation. He just want to ask y'all for the money. He just didn't want to spend his money. Because at the end of the day, I got to make sure I'm straight. That's what that told me about him. He gonna make sure he's straight. You know. But I think you just got to tighten up on just legal matters, making sure that you don't fall into no legal situations. Your paperwork is together, and you might have to start putting these folks under NDAs, and you might have to start putting them under NDAs. And you know, you don't need to hold on to them tapes. If there's a whole bunch of recording going on, that was another thing. That brother Michael Israel jumped in. Out of all the stuff that Pastor Rufus said, Michael Israel jumped in, was like, "How you know that's that many cameras?" It's like, that's the only thing you question. That man just told you 900. Somebody gave him 900,000. Another person 300,000. Another person gave him 187,000. Then brother looked like he live in the shop. That was brother telling me he live in the shop. All he do is work. That's what we doing. And you ain't selling that. You ain't selling, hey man, come to this community life and all you don't do is work. Is that what you selling? Is that what people signing up for? Because a lot of people retiring thinking, you know, I want to retire and get a camper and put it out there on the land, and you ain't finna do that. You gonna buy your own land, you want to do that. You ain't finna happen here. We gonna buy us a camper. And we might let you stay in it a little while, you know, and we'll figure out a way to get you upset and get you up off of here. And now we got us a camper. And we'll let somebody else come in here who bring in some decent amount of money coming in. Hey, you got 200,000. Hey man, come on the land, live in this camper. And then I get enough labor out of you about 5 years, $30,000 a year. I'll get you to build a few things. And then, I got my money worth, and then we get you up out of here too. And then you continue that cycle. Unless you got everybody working. Everybody's working. Everybody's bringing in all their money. And to a degree, I feel that is happening, but some people aren't working. But to a degree, I feel that is happening. But man, if that's what you're doing, why not do it for yourself? Why not do it for yourself? Seems you're struggling either way. You telling me you can't get a vacation out here, a 2-week vacation? You can't find nowhere to get a 2-week vacation. You can't, save up your money. Be disciplined. Take some of the stuff. Like I say, everything he says is not, most of what he says is on point. It's just his execution. And how he's treating the people, and how this thing is, how it's looking now. You cannot be sitting up here still trying to get these messages on vacation. You should nobody even should know. Nobody should even know. And the only reason people know is because people feel some kind of way. People feel some kind of way about that. About you taking these vacations. Yeah, they might have gave you the money, but they feel some kind of way. And you got to be careful, man. You got to be careful, people know how to read you. People know how to read you. People know how to take certain things over. Like I say, man, you just need to build a morale up, man. Go get you a couple of them single wides. Take them down there to Alabama. Take them down there to some of these other places that you having these other issues at. Get these communities together. Get everybody hopes back up and get them back on board with the mission. Get these folks back on board with the mission. But you're going to have to spend a little. You're going to have to dig in your pot. You're going to have to spend a little to get these folks in. And to get more people in where people can forget. We got a short memory. That's one thing about us. We got a very short memory. We'll forget, but you're going to have to treat these folks right. You just got to do it. You got to treat them better. You may not have to treat them right, but you got to treat them. You got to treat them better than what you're doing now. Or even get to the point where can you go back and ask them people, hey man, do you think that'll be productive for you to go back and then you start interviewing everybody? How you feel about my vacation? Do you feel that'll be a smart thing to do? Go back and let everybody, talk to all the sisters, talk to all the brothers. How did you feel about your pastor taking a vacation, so many times a year and you never taking one? Would you do a video like that? Would you do a video asking the members of Straitway, how'd you feel about that? Do you think, that'll be smart to put that in their face like that? And if you don't think that'll be smart to do that, you gotta understand that it's probably not. It probably wasn't a good idea to do it, and that you need to make something up to these people. You need to do something to these people. Nobody shouldn't have, you know, everybody should have basic amenities. You know, should nobody be running around with pails of water on their head and having to go get water and all this old foolishness, man. Not when we playing with M's. So, pray this thing was edifying, man. I ain't gonna keep y'all along with my ramble. Oh, man, we got more video to watch. Hold on, y'all. We got 40 more seconds. Let's
join along the way. One of those people will be a young woman named Stephanie from West Virginia. Nature Boy would first name her Fury, but later change her name to Serenity. She will become one of Nature Boy's wives.
Yes, it has happened. I quit my job. I didn't even give him a 2 weeks notice. I ended up finding a video.
And see, he'll let them sisters come. They ain't got to have too much. Because, you know, he want to, you know, smash them up real quick. Then let some of the other brothers smash them up real quick. Then get them up out of there. They'll get jealous and get up out of there. But the brothers, they got to have something coming in here. You got to have something. You got to have some kind of skill set. You know, oh, you got a studio? Oh, yeah, you can come. Bring your studio so we can make music videos and so forth. And that'll present us a little better.
By Nature Boy TV. I just continued to watch him and follow him. And before I knew it, this life that I lived was a lie. We should not be in this environment that we're in, and I will say United States.
You know, to get out of Babylon, get out of the city, same thing. All right, some of the same methodology. Little fear mongering, mixed in with a little truth. You know that, hey man, it is more productive to live off the land, to know what you're eating, to be more self-reliant. But freedom is a burden. It comes with a cost. You know, that's why people are dependent on the system, because that other life is much harder. It's much harder. You know, sit somewhere and ain't no air conditioning, ain't no central heating in there. You know, a lot of y'all ain't used to that. A lot of y'all ain't been when you got that fan in the window. You know, a lot of y'all ain't used to that. But should nobody be living like that when you got M's coming in? When you got millions of dollars coming in, should nobody be living like that? Should nobody be living like that if you spending tens of thousands of dollars on vacations? Should nobody be living like that? And like I said, they know they pricing they know the flights, they know what hotels you're staying at, and they calculating this thing, and they're like. And they telling other people, they telling people within the community. They causing you issues within the community. So, you know, you need to work on trying to clean this up in the last couple of days of your vacation. You know, start thinking about ways to clean this thing up, man, to figure out, you know, maybe do a drawing. You know, shake it up, do a drawing every year. And, you know, they can get a little $5,000 vacation. Something like that, you know. But, and I'm just, you know, to try to help the morale out there, because everybody gonna want to do that. We supposed to have all things in common. I gave all of this, and I gave this, and you know. And that goes back to that, and I'll end with this, man, about, you know, people coming in. Paul had to deal with people coming in on the breaking of bread. They will bring their bread early, you know, and go and drink up their wine for the poor people come. You know, from the people who didn't have as much, you know, before they get there, you know, we gonna eat up all our bread, and we gonna drink all our wine, and they already be drunk. They already be drunk before they can even do the service and break bread with everybody. They done came there already lit up because they didn't want to really share like that. they didn't really want to, they see somebody coming in that they ain't really got nothing, ain't really working, ain't really putting it, putting their work in, putting their leg in, far as they feel. And so he had to address that. Had to address it. Some of the issues that comes with, that lifestyle. Pray this thing was edifying. Y'all be blessed. We'll see y'all on the next one. Shalom.